It don't run in our blood. Another month just ain't for us. We crave a different kind of buzz. Any breed is cooler.
So despite the fact that you breed ball pythons, you do have a lot of positive contributions to the hobby. And it's okay. We know this. No, it's
I know.
It's tough.
Well, I will say this, Danny. You were hating ball pythons before it became popular to hate ball pythons. So
Thank you.
I commend you with that.
Thank you.
You're leading the
now it's
charge.
like, everybody's got the meme of the week up about ball pythons. Like, man, I was doing that years ago. Damn it! Before I was doing it when they were popular.
You're a hipster.
Before it was cool to hate them, you were doing it, and I commend you for that. Now you better start hating on something else because now you're just a sheep like everyone else.
Oh, please! You gotta say the Retic people love
on.
me. The Retic people love me like crazy right now, especially. So they're moving on, and eventually I'm going to take over the carpet python people, harass them a little bit until Kerry King comes out and beats us.
It's us. You.
Take on the business one step at a time. Yep, I hear you. But
hey, this is Andy. Carpet pythons suck.
Oh gosh, that's great. Yeah, but honestly, you have a lot of valid points on the ball python world. Honestly, that much like I was joking about with you saying that you were hating them before everyone else hated them. That's one of the things that I'm so proud of is that I was keeping ball pythons before anyone was keeping ball pythons. I didn't start keeping ball pythons because it was cool or profitable or anything like that. I did it because I loved it. And quite frankly, I was made fun of for keeping ball pythons because everyone thought I was stupid and because it was a garbage animal and there was no money to be made in it. So quite frankly, my interest in ball pythons has waned tremendously as it's become so vitriol, with the business side and the finances and the cutthroat. I really don't like the ball python market whatsoever. I'm not interested. It's probably my worst hated part of the hobby, in all honesty. I still love the animals themselves, but it's something that you won't see me on a ball python forum anytime soon because a lot of the childness that goes on is quite frightening, really.
Okay, so our rant. So real quick, you gotta tell me, imported baby ball pythons. Do we need them? I was gonna ask.
Haven't we gone?
No, I really think. I'm really. This is a tough thing. Number one, I can tell you that no, we don't need them. Okay. The only thing that bothers me a little bit is that I know the ecology behind West Africa, and if they play right by CITES, the importation of baby ball pythons is very important for the conservation side of the ecology, right? Because it drives the conservation side of ball pythons. That is if they play right. Now, there are certain countries like Benin doesn't play right as much. They send a tremendous amount of the adult ball pythons after they lay eggs. They butcher them and send them to China for skins. So that's a problem. You know what I mean? But do I think we need them in the pet trade? Absolutely not. I think that ship has sailed long ago, and we certainly can do enough captive breeding of them where I don't think that they need to come in. And quite frankly, and I don't know if you know this, but on the ground price in Africa this year was $2.50. Now that's pathetic when a living animal is being sold for $2.50. That's a problem. I'm really that part we need to fix. Obviously, and. So I don't know. I'm poor because, again, I have a lot of relationships with West Africans, and I know that this is how they pay their bills and this is how they support their family. And again, the good guys over there are also working hard to make sure that it's a renewable resource, not just a one and done type of thing. But so that's what, knowing all sides of the story, I'm a little bit tore on it, but do we need to bring them in and sell them for $5? No. I mean, my gosh, no. I don't know. It's. I guess what I'm saying is much more complicated than a yes and no answer, really. There's a lot of layers to it, and because you could look at the layer of, hey, that kid that walks into Petco and buys a ball python for $49.99 has his first experience with wildlife, and maybe that'll lead him to start loving all animals and getting involved in conservation and so on like that. So you see what I'm saying? There's lots of layers to to this whole thing. But the one thing I can tell you for sure is I'm not a proponent of flesh peddling. Buying an animal for $2.50 and flipping it for $5 is something I don't feel I'm very supportive of, and I don't think you can probably find anything that makes me want to think that that's a respectable trade.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. I think, these are the things that we always get a lot of heat for. And, it's basically because we're trying to tell people, like, these are some of the weak spots in our armor that we have to work on. If AR groups find this stuff out, it's going to be used against us. And, we need a little bit of self-policing. So it's refreshing to hear, especially you, being one of the largest breeders in the world to an extent, really acknowledge that, because it's something I think that we desperately need to do right now. But anyway, let's move on.
Self-policing is, I know. Let me just finish this, and then we can move on to some fun stuff. I think self-policing and self-regulating is something we have to do as a reptile hobby more than anything else. And I think the guys out there that don't realize how important that is are going to be standing there without their snakes in their hand, wondering what happened. So I think that we have to wake up and realize that if we're not leading the charge to self-regulation, someone else that doesn't understand what we do is going to lead the charge for self-regulation, and that's not going to end well for us. So anyways, that's enough of that. Let's talk fun
Control
stuff.
your balls. Control your own balls, people. All right.
It's a different kind of buzz, and any